Some people look at Sonny Hayes. They see a guy who lives in a van, a gambling junkie who missed his shot, the best that never was. But I see possibility.
F1 the movie. We've all seen the trailers and the posters by now. It's a Brad Pitt film. Essentially, very simple story. A Formula One driver comes back from a semi-retirement to lead a team of F1, an F1 team called Apex that has a young, up-and-coming driver, talented, and he comes in to nurture them and sort of show them the way to victory. And it's all about Brad Pitt and his team and the cars. First impressions, Buzz?
Well, going into this one, not really being a big fan of F1 and racing in general, I didn't have my hopes very high, but they were completely smashed out water and exceeded. I thoroughly enjoyed this film, and it's 2.5 hour runtime. Flies by, you know. This film felt like an hour and a half. It really did, and yeah, it's not the most intricate film you've ever seen in terms of narrative and script writing. But what it is as you say, it's based upon Brad Pitt being this kind of like once upon a time in Hollywood kind of actor that he was playing in that film, but now he's a Formula One racer, and a good one at that as well. He's a bit of a daredevil, he's a bit of a risk taker, he's a bit of a lone wolf, but he has to try and squeeze himself into this team, and it's a very character arc kind of vibe from the film. It's it kind of gets you juiced up for this big finale, because it's an older man training a younger man in a profession that he's been in for 3 decades, and the younger guy's just kind of getting started, but he's already fairly good. You have a little bit of a love story on the side as well, with Sonny's character and stuff like that. But anyway, what did you make of it, Alex, when you sat down to view it?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely enjoyable, like you said. The fun factor is 100% here, but it is formulaic. Don't expect any story twists, or it's very predictable. But it's just very polished. Everything is very well. Every single frame is very well lit and colorful and perfect, essentially, because I don't know if you know about this. This is a 200 million budget, and they had access essentially to the locations of these Grand Prix and and where they go in various different Abu Dhabi and places like that all over the world. And it's directed by the same director that did Top Gun Maverick, so he does know how to show speed. But what I did notice a bit too much in your face is it felt like a commercial, because there's so many brands involved, and none of these brands have put their name on Brad Pitt's shoulder without paying, essentially. So it did feel like a 2-hour commercial to F1 as a sport, not just because it shows you how gripping it can be, but the thing that I liked was the fact that it gives you a little bit of behind the scenes of the strategy and the teamwork that is involved in such a championship, which I didn't know before because I didn't watch it. But what were your thoughts on that middle bit about the decision making in the sport?
Yeah, so obviously it does teach you a little bit about F1, even a big part of it as well, which I already knew was a thing anyway, but it's just even what tyres that the cars have and the changeover of said tyres, whether it's raining or whether they've been worn out, or the decision to carry on racing instead of go for a pit stop. It's like, have you got the nerve to do it? Who's making the call with that? Is it the driver, or is it the team? And and also the dirty kind of side of F1 as well, which is a lot of foul play. Sonny in the film, he's kind of a bit of a maverick when it comes to the dark side of the game, and affecting the actual tournament, or it might be affecting the other players, or even just clipping the back of a car so it spins out or something. It's you see this, but yeah, I know when you refer to the advertisement, I do know what you mean. I felt like half the movie has a Mercedes emblem in your face the whole time, and that wasn't discreet, and but I guess we can look the other way a little bit with that. But
you got an entire assembly line of kids raised on the simulator.
No, I don't have time for some kid to learn how to come in 10th. I don't.
Well, you don't just walk off the street and pilot a rocket.
Yes, you can if you've done it before. That's the whole point. Louis Chiron was 57 years old when he won the Monaco Grand Prix.
Who is who?
Philippe Tancelang, 56 years
You
old.
just Googled these names, didn't you?
Some people look at Sonny Hayes, they see a guy who lives in a van, a gambling junkie who missed his shot.
Wow, Ruben, you are really selling this.
But I see a guy who makes teams better. I see experience, I see know-how.
You're off your meds.
My rook is a phenomenal talent. Phenomenal! But he's young. You know what he lacks? Maturity. You plus him, boom! I got a team.
This film made F1 look interesting, which is in of itself a fascinating thing, because I myself am not a fan. I'd actually even probably give it a go, and I'll probably watch it now, because when you're learning that the film goes into depth about how I think Sonny at some point he says to his whole team, if every one of us here can save half a second, that'll be 10 seconds, and if you save like 10 seconds every lap and there's 72 laps and so forth and so on, you can make a comeback. And like even just using the metrics of that was interesting, and you see these pit stops, which is, timed on 4 seconds ago, which is just insane really when you think about it, isn't it? And anything more than that will cost you the race. But I have to say, I did enjoy the camaraderie on screen between Pierce and Sonny. I don't know about you. Did you like that, Alex, or did you think it was a little bit overdone, a little bit scripted?
Yeah, no, the chemistry on screen is good, but that's what you get when you get good actors in general. They're all good actors. Javier Bardem is in there, and Kerry Condon is in there, and so they're good actors, and they will make it work really well. So the chemistry is obviously very good on the screen. It's like putting, Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt in The Stuntman. Those two have, immediate chemistry because they're both good. But the Formula One, this ad is good. It's good to hear that the ad, that this 2.5 hours advertising Formula One has made you watch now F1, because I guess that was the purpose from a production point of view. But no, this is a full-on summer film. It's a Sunday film. You go it, you watch it, you enjoy it. It's like Jurassic Park is the other one that is out in the cinemas now, which is going to be the same thing. And I did enjoy the fact that, I like watching Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt has been a good actor, and he's been in good things. And he's an impactful person in the industry anyway, because he's got the production company too that does good things. But also Hans Zimmer is the soundtrack. So it sounds, all of it polished and expensive and fun to watch, and you can see where all of this is happening. What about the celebrities actually, Buzz? How many of them have you seen, including Lewis Hamilton and all of them, right?
Yeah. So I was going to say there's probably a few faces thrown in there as well that I didn't catch. Obviously, I've seen Hamilton, and then I know Verstappen, I think his name is.
Verstappen,
Verstappen. I know him.
Vettel also.
Don't know that. You see, I don't know that name. And then I think also there's one of the older stars comes in just towards the end of the movie. I think he grabs the PS by the shoulder and says, "Look, if you ever want to race for any other corporation, tell me." And I didn't recognise who that was, but I think fans of F1 would. But yeah, so it's good that they've actually thrown him in there, because I thought that at first that was just like a few select clips when you see like Hamilton getting into his car, but he is actually there on set, which is really cool, isn't it? To be honest, didn't know it was Hans Zimmer for the soundtrack until you just said so then. But thinking back now, it really was quite epic, wasn't it? And this is the thing, and it's like it may like you say, this film, it's almost like it was, big stars, big soundtrack, big budget. Brad Pitt is the main superhero pretty much, and he's kind of going on his character arc. And it just reminds me of maybe films maybe 15 years ago, when we maybe lived in a bit more of a simpler universe where you have these big American films that were kind of like you could write it yourself, but it's still very entertainable. So yeah, it gets a thumbs up from me.